Greetings, Goddess Body, Mind, Spirit community. This is Tyra Omilade, and you know I love helping women align with their life purpose using the power of ancient wisdom and the goddess-centered lifestyle. Today, I want to talk to you about Jupiter and Mercury. So we're going to link astrology to, we'll call it spiritual teaching. So I recently made a video about the need for more compassion in the world. And one of the reasons why I think we lack compassion is people are so judgy. And I don't know if it's because of the internet and we just have so much more access to what is going on in people's lives. Not only do we have access to it, we actually decide we want to make commentary on it, right? People actually have a living making commentary about other people's lives just on social media. So I began to think about, well, what is the remedy to being judgy? So let me just be 100 with you all. For those who have been here for a while, y'all know I'm pretty transparent. So if you're new here, I like to tell the truth about me. And so what I want to say is that I struggle with being judgmental. I consider myself to be one of the most loving, kind, non-judgmental people, you could ever meet. And I also know that, I'm multifaceted. I'm judgy. And so I was thinking, well, what's the opposite? If I can just stop being judgy. I mean, I want you to think about being judgmental and how just we can be out and about seeing something going on with someone else, someone who we have no idea, but we're able to witness, get a bird's eye view into what's happening to them in that moment, or just whatever it is we observe about them. And the next thing we know, we're drawing a judgment, right? Those are the kinds of things that I want to move past. Why? Why would I want to move past being judgmental? Well, to a certain degree, I'm not focused on me. I'm not focused on what I need to do for myself. It being judgy of other people, it's keeping us locked up. And planet Jupiter, which I relate to being judgmental. So Jupiter can be positively judgmental because it does have to do with being a judge, or it could be negatively judgmental. So that's something that is just inherent in this particular planet. Well, but Jupiter is about being expansive. And so we have to ask ourselves, is the way that I'm being judgmental, do I feel contracted or do I feel expansive? And so oftentimes, because maybe I've just gotten into the habit, I'll be out and about, sometimes it's like just little things that actually don't even matter. That's another thing we can think about. Like, am I being about judgmental about something that actually it doesn't matter? Let other people live their lives. Can we just show up and be the best version of ourselves that we possibly can be? And so I'll notice I'm being judgmental. And I don't feel expanded when I do it. So we want to be thinking about how can we be judgy in a good way? So, and I'm juxtaposing Jupiter to Mercury. These are two planets that are opposite because Jupiter is expansive and it's the belief system. It is having a paradigm. It's looking at the big picture. So the ultimate positive expression of Jupiter is you're able to look at the big picture and you're able to see all the pieces together. And from there, you can make a discernment. That's something that I think is a beautiful part of the positive judgmental piece is we're able to actually discern. Also, Jupiter is wisdom. And so when we're thinking about Jupiter in the, most expansive way, we are able to look at the big picture and there's some wisdom we're able to use and discern regarding that big picture. It may be you pull the wisdom from the big picture, or you're able to apply wisdom that's needed in order to just like tie it all together and come to a decision or something like that. Whereas Mercury is all of the small facts, is information. Jupiter is like higher education, and Mercury is more of like information, bits and bots, small pieces of information. It's also the beliefs that people hold, not the whole belief system. Mercury sees a sliver. It sees all the details versus the big picture of Jupiter. And I say that the opposite of judgment, the judgment of Jupiter, would be the curiosity of Mercury. Mercury is a very curious planet. And curiosity oftentimes is you're just in the moment. You're just present to, you're curious. It's something that we talk about in mindfulness. You want to be curious about what you're experiencing, non-judgmental though. Okay. So um juxtaposing that. So I think that number one, judgment leads to lack of compassion. And so the lack of compassion, we're dehumanizing people. We are perhaps thinking that we know what's better for someone, whether we know them or not, than they actually know for themselves. One rule that I have for myself is, the universe, the divine will take care of someone. The great mother is typically how I say it, will take care of someone better than I ever could. So many more resources in the universe, right? So that's something that happens. And I think it also creates a level of separation between whoever's judging and the judged. Um, and again, it takes our focus off our own lives because now our ashe, which is our life force energy, our attention, our awareness, is being poured into something or someone else that we probably have, well, more than likely, we have no control over anything in anybody's life, save maybe our children when they're very young, right? Um, and not even all the time in those cases. So, what we want to do is just kind of remember when we're in that judgmental place, it's there's part of it is causing us to contract, right? So, one of the things I want to mention about judgment is we have to remember everyone has values that they live by. And judgment is more than likely when we're being judgmental towards other people, there probably is a difference in values. And the way that came up is I'm just thinking about as the at the recording of this video, Jupiter is in Taurus, which is the sign that has to do with values. And so it made me realize, a lot of the judgment is just misaligned values because sometimes it's someone who feels inferior is judging someone who they perceive as superior to them. There's no one who's not judgmental. Everyone is judgmental for the most part. And to a certain degree, the positive part of being judgmental is we're able to make, like I said, make that discernment, right? So it's good to be able to judge things and know, okay, like, does this work? Does it not work? Is this for me? Is it not for me? But when it comes to the type of judgment where it's people going back and forth and feeling like, negative towards one another and what other people are doing or how they think, if you could remind yourself, if you're one of these people, most people have different values. We just have different sets of values. And that's a lot of why they are doing something that you think isn't right. At the end of the day, everyone just really has an opinion. Okay. I think that there's certain things that we can all agree on. Morally, we're just not down with. But the majority of anything that we're thinking is right or wrong is really just an opinion. Okay. So, curiosity. When we choose to be curious, again, instead of being judgmental, putting on curiosity, it just allows us just to be present to what is. And we don't have to make any decision about it. It's just information. And I just find when I choose to be curious, and sometimes I'm judgmental, and then I say, oh, you know what? I'm just going to be curious. So, a quick example is I was driving past, my kids know, my children, my young adult kids know that I can't stand too much development in our city. And I was passing by and I saw some development going on. And I was like, why are they? digging everything up. Okay, just being curious, because I was just very contracted and angry. They're destroying Mother Earth, right? And then I said, you know what? I'm just curious. Okay, I noticed that that's going on. I'm just gonna stay curious. Or, sometimes I see people. I can't. Oh, I know. Here's a good one. I have a new gym that I'm going to, and when I come out to leave, I can barely get out of the parking lot because the line to Dunkin' Donuts is almost completely around the building from the pickup window all the way around, right? And, I'm coming out feeling all healthy, and I'm like, "This is just ridiculous." And then I said, "Nope, nope, nope, just curious. This is very curious. There's a lot of people here, and they're here for Dunkin' Donuts. Okay, I'll just wait till I can get my little out, and I'm just gonna drive on off." And I felt so much better not having to carry that judgment, you know? And when I think about it, I do stuff that other people just couldn't believe that I'm doing. There is no perfection, 100% perfection here, all right? So, I wanna just offer that we need to, or we can consider, um, being more judgmental in a way that leads to discernment and wisdom about a thing, that leads to an expansive place, and, is judgment couched inside of wisdom. I feel like the the positive manifestation of Jupiter in its judgmental nature, its judgy nature, leads to beautiful results because it is truly considering the big picture, and it everyone is going to benefit as a result of this. And so we can begin to ask that question: is this thought that I'm having right now, this opinion, this judgment that I'm having, is this for the best of all involved? And can I just, in order to turn off the negative judgment, can I just switch into a place of being curious and just saying, "Oh, I'm just receiving some information," but with the crux of it being, let me be curious about my own life. Maybe I should be curious about, why am I so concerned about someone else, or why did I have that thought about someone else? And can I use that beautiful wisdom of Jupiter to allow myself to grow? Allow my Jupiter is also, it rules Sagittarius and it rules Pisces. So Sagittarius is actually the part of Jupiter that makes it extremely judgmental. Um, but Sagittarius is a beautiful sign. It's brilliant, it's smart, it's wise, it's expansive. It truly is the sign that shows us the big picture. So it's no judgment. But the other sign that Jupiter rules is Pisces, and Pisces has to do with compassion. So can we bring out the part of Jupiter that says, I'm judging this in a way where I have compassion for other people, and at the very least, I won't hurt anyone, but maybe I can do something to relieve another person's suffering, or maybe I can just give a blessing, because that's Jupiter. It's just gonna bless everybody. I'm gonna bless folks coming, and I'm gonna bless folks going. Right. So thank you so much. I hope that this has been insightful and helpful. I kind of look at it as astrology, helping us to dig deeper into spiritual teachings. I hope that has been helpful. And if you feel so moved to share your thoughts about judgmental, being curious, how is that working for you? If you are someone who tends to be more curious than judgmental, anything, let's help one another out. All right. Thank you so, so much. Again, I'm Tara Omilade. I appreciate you for being here. I would love it if you would hit the thumbs up and also share this video with other people who you think could benefit from learning more about, let's be a little bit more compassionate and curious. All right. Take care. Peace and love.